Okay.
For real though.
For real though? For real though. For real though.
For real though.
Hey, y'all for real though?
What's up?
Welcome to the For Real Tho podcast with your host Albert Cantu
And Davin Keeley.
Oh man, I heard some beeping. I don't know what's going on. Is it this one? It's this one. I don't know. It's your camera that's bad. Davin brought a camera in, and these other two cameras work really well. Your camera you brought from Big Lots is not a Man, we've got a great show today.
Yeah.
We've got our special guest in the house.
Who is he?
You all know and you love him, and you put your trust in him every single day when you get up. And that person is our chief, not just anybody, a chief meteorologist, Bill Taylor from Kansas.
Wow. Come on. All right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Yay.
Man,
Thank you. Thank you.
you look different.
I feel different, but I feel right. You know,
It just feels so
See,
good.
you guys
doesn't
were
it?
not. You weren't old enough to really experience the '70s, were you?
Yes, I was.
How old were you in the '70s?
I was born 71.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You were born in '71. Like, I was already kicking. I was born in the '60s.
Oh, were
So
you?
I was already grooving. I was.
Oh.
Yes, I was living large. You know, I mean, in the '70s, I was going to New York Giants football games. I was in New Jersey at the time.
Oh,
wow.
I grew up in
Okay.
New Jersey.
You still got that little accent?
But
on
I was a
here?
kid. Yeah, it's going to come out if I start talking about Jersey. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Jerry de Blasio, his sister Denise, she's a nice girl. But no, it was a great time. It was a different time, but the music was very hot. That's
Yeah.
why you get back into it because of just its lasting power. Like, Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. It was playing hard.
You remember
You know what I'm saying?
the 21st
night
day
of
September.
September.
The 21st day of September.
Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
21st day.
I thought night.
You've been saying it wrong for the last 45 years.
Right? And I know you know, because you're the man on the ones and twos.
So, I mean, 70s were, you were grooving.
Yeah, well, you know what? I was a kid. I mean, let's face it. But it was a fun time. I mean, New York Giants Stadium opened in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. What else happened? I mean, in my life, I was a kid. Like I said, I got into high school in 1980 or so. Was my 81 was my first year of high school.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I was like in middle school in the 70s.
Do you still have family in New Jersey? Still?
Cousins, mainly, yeah, and then I've got like aunts and uncles. A few of them left, but not many. Mom and dad are home with the
nice.
Lord. Let's see, but mainly cousins all through Central Jersey. My Aunt Bunny's in North Jersey, so yeah, she was born on Easter Sunday. Angela is her name, but she was born on Easter Sunday, so we call her Bunny.
Oh,
She was
that's
the baby.
cool.
That was my mom's youngest sister.
That's really cute.
Yeah,
that's-
she's the only one left on my mom's side, as far as aunts and all. Like I said, some cousins are still.
So you don't make your trips back?
Not as often,
opportunities?
not as often. I mean, I go up, I still have two half sisters in Pennsylvania, and so I see them and their kids more often than anybody else, really. But they like coming here. I mean, they love San Antonio so much. So the last couple of visits, everybody's been coming here lately.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much more to do. I mean, New York is fantastic. It's New York, right? But it's a chore.
Yeah.
I mean, everything up there is a pain in the neck. I
Really?
don't miss that. Yeah.
I hear
mean,
a lot of people say that it's like
It's overwhelming if
It's
you're from San
overwhelming and
Antonio.
it's dirty. I hear it's dirty.
It's a lot dirtier, and it is overwhelming. It will like encompass you. It'll, you're like it's all over you. But what's nice is that it is a city of like multiple opportunities and things to do. Like you will never go up there. You don't have to have an agenda. You can just get out and go with no plan and let things happen. Let the city take you.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. You both have been to New York City?
I have.
Yeah.
I have never
Yeah.
been.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm poor. Help me.
Help me. Help me.
Yeah. If you'd like to donate.
Please donate to the cause. I would love to go to New York. I've never been. I've always wanted to go. And every time I tell somebody, "Oh, I want to go to New York," oh, don't go there. It's dirty.
No. Go. I mean, it's a blast. I mean, you will, like I said, you don't have to have any agenda. You go to Little Italy, you go to
I love
Chinatown.
Yeah.
The village is really fun. I remember, again, no plan, and my sister took me and my wife. We went to a place called Lucky Chang's, and we had a great dinner. And she's like, "You're going to love this place." So we said, okay. So we go. And we, not knowing, and we sit down, and waitresses are coming and going and everything, and really a nice place. The appetizers are good, and then I see on the menu, Lucky Chang's. Great Asian cuisine graciously served to you by Asian drag queens. And I had no idea. I mean, they were beautiful. And I was like,
Oh no.
they're all men. I had no idea. I mean, it was just incredible. And then we left there, got a copy
That's a
of
record scratch.
Yeah, that's it. Give me one. Oh, boy.
Now
Those
he's like,
are-
I'm booking it now.
What restaurant was this again?
Try the egg rolls.
They hide them though.
The dumplings.
The dumplings.
I love those dumplings.
Find the dumplings. We leave there and we go to this Chicago Blues was the name of the place, and Bo Diddley was playing.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was so cool, and it was a small place. Like we sat literally on a couch, and Bo Diddley was like 20 feet from us playing. It was that's the kind of stuff that happens in New York, and we just stumbled upon it. Like I said, there was a newspaper up there called the Village Voice, and we just started going through it, and they were like, Bo Diddley tonight, $15 cover, Chicago Blues. We were like, let's go. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
It was really
You
cool.
almost can't make plans.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, because there's just so much happening.
Yeah, because I've been to New York a couple of times, and I don't like necessarily going like to Times Square and all that. I like going to Harlem.
Yeah, Harlem's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I've never been.
Yeah.
I only know the Harlem Globetrotters. That's all you know. That's the only thing I know about Harlem Globetrotters.
Right.
Harlem.
They're not there. Like you can see them walking around Harlem. So where are the Globetrotters?
Just any guy with the basketball.
Is there a store, or like where are they?
That would be me. That definitely would be.
Right,
And they're like,
right.
oh, this guy's from not here. He's not from here. He's looking for the Harlem Globetrotters.
But see, Davin's got it. You don't want to do like, you can do Statue of Liberty. You can do, all of the tourism things. But if you just go to Times Square, if you just go to the Village, if you just go to Little Italy, and that's right next to Chinatown, I mean, life will happen all around you, and it's a blast.
Yeah.
And you just let it take you. Because it's an experience. It's kind of like a state of mind. It's a New York state of mind.
Billy Joel.
Yeah, I love Billy Joel.
Do you know what's funny? I pictured you because you were like, "Oh, I grew up in like the 70s." I picture you like the newsboys, like extra.
Read all about. Get your lucky strikes here.
Yeah, outside of the stadium.
That's how I got into the media. I started in print.
That is what it is. Yeah.
That's little Billy selling the papers. 50
Don't
cents.
trust him.
Would you go home with the papers? That was an old joke. My dad told me one time. Swear to God, they used to, because the early edition of the Sunday paper would come out on Saturday nights.
Oh, yeah.
Like the first run, right?
They already knew what was happening tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Nostradamus wrote it.
So if you went out on a date on a Saturday night and you're like, well, how'd it go? And that would be the phrase, well, I went home with the papers. Like in other words, it didn't go so good. Like I was done early. She wanted to go home. And so I got the newspaper and I went home.
Yeah.
That was like the old phrase.
Oh my goodness! I want to ask a question because I'm so fascinated.
I know. I can see.
Oh my God!
Oh my Albert.
I'm so sorry.
And you were
folks.
giving him a hard time.
This is
You're practically naked.
He's like,
Look at
you know
at
what?
him.
I have a question, Bill. Does this look infected?
Can I just ask this fucking fit? Should I call Teledoc? I don't know what to do, Bill.
What do you do for getting 5? Can you look at this?
Oh man, Albert, really though. And by the way, when did you get it pierced? Well, I don't know when did you get that pierced?
God. That's
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it was piercing.
didn't know.
It's piercing my eyes.
Exactly. Wow.
Why did y'all tell me that my shirt was undone? I didn't realize it was
Kind of
so
leaned into
unbuttoned.
it too. Like, ask you a
let me ask you a
question, Bill.
Let me ask you
Wow.
a question.
Button that up. You said it was Lucky Chang's, right?
Turn the lights off.
What were you talking about? Those egg rolls? Oh my god.
Wow. So your question.
Man, that temperature just went up a lot right now. I want to ask you a question because I think it's really fascinating. Anybody that gets into like this meteorology world, this industry, take me back to when you first kind of like said, you know what, I really am fascinated by the weather.
It was moving south. I'll be honest. I mean, because in New Jersey, the weather was important, but not like it is in the South.
Yeah.
No hurricanes, snowstorms, and nor'easters, but you knew they were coming, and 9 times out of 10. I mean, those were big storms and you prepared, right? But when you talk about tornadoes and severe hailstorms and hurricanes, I mean, I didn't experience all that. So I moved to South Louisiana. So I went from New Jersey to Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Floods.
Yeah, exactly. And I never knew that weather could be that life-threatening. So it got my attention. And then I became kind of fascinated. I was just like, how does that work? Why does this do this and that become that? And it wasn't like an entire, okay, I really want to be a meteorologist right away. I kind of walked into it in a sense that I started in mass communications at McNeese State. And when I was in my last semester, the weekend weather job opened up at the local NBC affiliate. And I was already entrenched in the media. I really, we joked, but I really did start in print. I went to radio, but I was selling advertising. I was in sales. I started as a columnist in a newspaper. But then I said, hey, who are those? That looks like a fun group. They were dressing nice, driving nice cars. Oh, that's the sales team. I was like, oh, I want to be on the sales team, because it was like, a reporter at a small newspaper. I mean, you didn't make much at all.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I got into sales and like I said, went from print. I was with this newspaper company for about 4 years. And then I went over to radio. But it was in that time that I was finished. I finally said, let me go back to school. Because when I was in sales, I was like, school's just, taking time from selling.
Yeah.
Why am I going to go to school? Let's make more money, drive a nicer car. And just, I started chasing that. And you find out you're chasing the wind because that never you never run out, right? And so when I went back to school and while I was in, my final semester was when this weekend weather job opened up. Yeah. My final year, actually. Then I went to mornings. I started as a weekend weather guy, and then I went to mornings, and that's when I was in my final semester. So I was literally doing the morning show, and then I would go to class after. So, of course, I'd leave my makeup on and be like Mr. BMOC. Yeah, I just got off the set. It's whatever. Yeah. So, what did the teacher
Did you finish the assignment, though?
Sorry, I'm late, teach. Yeah, sorry, professor, but just got off the set. We had some breaking news this morning.
Yeah. You wouldn't even imagine what my day looked like.
You don't know.
Don't get me started.
You've been in here all day. Not me.
But, by the grace of God, someone saw something. I got in front of that wall. They said, you've got 3 minutes. Go. And they gave me an audition because I didn't have a tape. The whole thing is a resume tape.
What did you sing?
So,
Hello, my baby.
Hello, the tree
my
of life.
doll.
I just picked me a plum. Little Sinatra always gets them. Gets the people going. But I just simply
people's choice.
I got a couple of of the tools of high pressure, low pressure, cold front. Go and. Someone saw something that they could work with, and they gave me the job, and I'm forever grateful. Yeah, KPLC, Lake Charles. And then I started taking meteorology courses. I studied under Mark Skirto, was my mentor. He was the chief at that station.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, he still does weather. He's in East Texas. He's in Tyler, Texas. He never wanted to go big, but he is like one of those meteorologists.
Yeah.
Like Paul Medelis.
Yes,
Paul.
okay, yes.
I mean, just knows the science inside and out. These guys are like, physicians of the atmosphere. They're incredible knowledge. And so he was pouring into me. Then I started taking classes at Mississippi State, took more at Penn State, because it's a continuous education. That's what's really cool about it. We don't know as much as there is to know about meteorology and the atmosphere and how it works. We know a lot more than we've ever known, but there's still more to learn. And every system's different. Every storm changes its, behavior from one to the next. So it's an interesting study. It's a fascinating art in that sense.
And so obviously you from that point on, you're like, okay, from here, you just kind of keep growing. Now, how long have you been with Ken's 5?
So this is 27 years this year. Yeah, thank you. No, I'm blessed.
27 years.
27.
That's
So Lake Charles was about 2 years. And then I got an offer to go to Montgomery, Alabama with the same company. They said, we want you to go do more, or no, at the time it was noon and reporting. So I was going to do the noon weather and then be a general assignment reporter in the afternoon. And I went there for $18,000 a year. And I didn't know anybody. Montgomery, Alabama, let's go. And I packed up and I went, you know. And it was, again, what you did in this business, right? You go to the small
Opportunity.
markets. You learn, and the opportunity's there, and you grow. And after about 4 years, and I met my wife in Lake Charles, and then she came out, she graduated and was a paralegal. She came out to Montgomery. We got married. And then we were like, okay, you know, what's next? Because we don't want to stay in Alabama. You know, we still had, our moms were in Louisiana. The rest of my family was in New Jersey. And so I started a search. And San Antonio and Charlotte, North Carolina were the two markets that were interested. And I flew here. And I was like, this is it. This is awesome. I mean, I love this. And
It felt like home.
on the river. Yeah. It just, you know, it was kind of overwhelming at the same time because it was just such a big city to do this. You know, I mean, I wasn't overwhelmed by the city because of my, you know, growing up just outside New York City. But at the same time, I was, you know, in this career, I was like, can I really handle this big of a market? And I was kind of scared because Montgomery matched the offer.
Yeah.
They said, hey, whatever they're paying, we love you. We want you to
19,000.
stay. 19,500.
Whoa, I'm staying.
Right, exactly. And I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I honestly thought they're not going to match, surely. And they did. And that was a real, because Jamie was a paralegal making good money. I was enjoying my
Wow,
job.
that is a big leap.
We didn't have any kids yet. So I was
What
like,
year was that?
What should I do?
What year was that?
90, 95.
1960.
1995. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then when I got here, you know, 2 years later, we had our first baby. And we've got 3 daughters, you know, then life started changing. And, you know, my career started taking, you know, second, third, fourth on the list, right? Because as you know, I mean, we get agents, we can go 2 years here, go to another city. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to do that. I mean, I fell in love with this city. I found such a neat culture in San Antonio and a great place to live, you know, and you felt the momentum of the city too. When I got here in '96 compared to now, I mean, I've seen a lot of the growth. You know, I know you've been here longer than that.
Yeah.
I've seen tremendous growth.
It's not, and it's still growing to this day. It just doesn't stop. You know, we're in the real estate business, and so we're seeing it day in and day out. You know, with all these, you know, new builds they've got to have a house, right? So there's just so many people here now. So I know one of the things I wanted to ask you was, you know, you've been at Ken's 5 for, you know, such a long time, and you're a chief meteorologist, which means that is there like, what's that? What kicks you from like being a regular meteorologist and then you get a chief status?
So it's just a matter of being the lead in the department.
When do you become a king?
Yeah, that's next.
You have to wear a crown. You wear a crown on the show.
It's like Bill wanted to do it.
Right.
We had.
I'll first be knighted and referred to as Sir Bill Taylor. That's what's next.
Bill
And then
Taylor.
it'll be king. Yeah. There'll be a coronation. I hope you guys can make it. It's going to be
We'll be in the
That's hilarious.
Bill.
For real, though.
Remember
though.
us?
Remember us?
Nope.
No, and then Albert, remember us. Yeah, oh.
Remember this, Bill?
Oh, no, I do.
Security.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, it's like just kind of being the main, the evening newscasts, you know, that's the top, is to do the, you know, 4, 5, 6, and 10. But then also to lead all weather coverage. If there's a hurricane, if there's a tornado threat, if we're in the midst of, you know, an ongoing, continuing coverage, I lead that coverage. I mean, that's what, you know, pretty much encompasses my role as chief meteorologist.
That's amazing.
It's pretty awesome. Thank you.
You're just
and that's
amazing,
been, I've
right?
been there for 20 years now. 20 of the 27 have been as the weather chief. Yeah.
Chief.
And I don't know where that term honestly came from. You know, why they decided on chief.
You should wear a headdress.
Or
I'm
smoke,
thinking about
smoke
it.
a pipe.
Right, smoke a peace pipe. Well, thanks, Deborah. As a matter of fact,
That's hilarious. We got to take a break.
Oh, we got to take a break
What
right
kind of
now.
break do we want to take? I don't know.
We want to take a disco break.
Oh, a disco
What?
break.
Wait,
Disco
what?
break.
Disco break. to the For Real Tho podcast with your host, Albert Cantu.
And Davin Keeley.
I like this. Look at these. I love, I love playing with the disco balls. I'm going to say disco balls.
Do you know, I wish they had like, do you know how you could get like when you would work out in like the 50s, it'd be like a carrot at the end? Like if you could have like like a head.
No,
thing?
like something that's always over you with
Right.
the lights on it. So
Nice.
You just walk around with that disco music.
Right, it'd just be hooked to your head and just be walking around in life.
In life.
And just everywhere you
Look at
went.
this. This thing kind of changed on
Oh,
us.
an ad came up.
Oh,
That-
boy.
you just got paid.
I'm sponsored.
Yeah, just not on this show.
Build with. Oh my God, this is completely just gone downhill here. I don't know what's happening with this.
So when you look at Bill Taylor, oh, there you are.
Here you are.
There I am.
we
Hey
go.
guys, I'm
Yeah.
back. I'm back. Hey Bill, when did you
Look at
get
that.
here?
Look at that.
Muy guapo.
Look at that face. Remember when I was working at Ken's 5 and I'd be passing you halls and I said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Taylor, I didn't mean to make eye contact with you."
Yeah, he would look right at me, and that's a rule around Ken's 5. You know that eye contact is forbidden.
Yeah.
And you're not a king yet?
Right. Not even at king status, and that's
And
early.
I remember I said, "I'm so sorry, but I made eye contact." He's like, "Don't let it happen again."
Yeah. I'd give him a headshot, and, and then
Thank
stay
you for
in school.
noticing.
You stay in school. Yeah, it was
I don't
cool
know
when you
what's
were at
happening.
Ken's, man. We miss you around Ken.
It was a lot of fun. I always had a lot of fun. We were growing so many businesses with our marketing department. I didn't realize I still had these glasses on all this time.
You have to come back and visit. Yeah, you did.
Why didn't anybody tell me this?
because it was working.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah,
You got to come now. You should see the second floor. The renovation was unbelievable.
I did see it.
You have been back. Okay.
Yeah, I went up there and looked at it, and I was like,
Isn't it incredible?
yeah, it's like I feel like they waited for me to leave, and then they said,
They're like, we
Yeah.
can put
So
the
we
budget.
can do it now. We can do it now.
Yeah.
Let's do it now.
yeah, oh, he stinks. The stinky smell left. So
Oh,
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and fix it.
That
He
was
won't
the
ruin it.
problem.
I remember there was one time I was having break and I was at my desk and I brought this big old hot pan and I was making pork chops at my desk and everybody's
You
like,
didn't pull a Stanley.
is that somebody
Like
that
in the
did-
office when he spills the chili.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that was Kevin. It was Kevin. It was Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin.
Did you spill it?
No, I didn't. But I
Oh.
was cooking it at my desk and everybody's like, "What's that smell?"
smell.
And then you could hear the pork chop sizzling. Like, that
you
was-
really at your cubicle?
I was really at my cubicle making pork chops.
This
To
is
this
why.
day.
This
Yeah,
is why
this
he's
is
no
why.
longer.
Yeah, the
at Ken's.
smell's
You know?
gone.
We gotta let you go. Yeah, this is not gonna work for us.
The meat can stay.
The meat can stay.
Leave the pork chops.
You gotta go, though, buddy.
Those look good. You don't.
You gotta go. Oh my God! Now Bill. You have been I call you a staple for
Yep.
San Antonio. You are
Wow,
a
thank
staple. I don't see how we could Ken Spy could ever be the same again if you leave. And I know at some point you're going to retire at some point. But for right now, you are the staple of the city, and so many people love and adore you. You're involved in so many different events. I mean, you MC a lot of stuff, but you're also like you do a lot of stuff,
Give
especially
back.
for the walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, the walk is really important to you.
We
isn't it?
just did the walk to end Alzheimer's, and we had nearly 7,000 people this year. I mean, it was incredible, man. It really was, and they were pushing at 1 million. We were at 740,000 yesterday morning at the walk itself, and so now everything will keep pouring in, and I think they're in high hopes of hitting 7 figures this year.
And there might be
Whoa.
people when people are walking, just people will walk up and walk with them, right?
Yeah,
Just off the street.
right? Just off the
They're like,
street.
okay.
Hey, I like what's going on here, you know, and they just start walking, you know. But it's the walk to end Alzheimer's is so important because of how many more people are being affected by Alzheimer's all the time.
Yeah. And your
And I
dad,
lost
of
my
course.
father
Your father.
to Alzheimer's, so it's important that I stay involved in his honor,
Of course.
But then to be alongside people that are currently in the struggle, have lost someone. I mean, I'm telling you, it's so heartbreaking, but at the same time, a sweet moment of love across those 6,000 to 7,000 people, because you have all these families, and they're realizing that they're not going through this alone.
Yeah.
because it's pure evil. I hope you neither of you are ever affected. But chances are someone in your family will have Alzheimer's
Yeah.
or some form of dementia, and it's so cruel. I mean, you say goodbye to your loved one twice.
Yeah, that's
It's
very, very.
I mean,
sad.
think about your fondest memories, your favorite songs, your favorite movies, as a kid or with your kids, and they're gone in an instant. You don't even know what happened to them. Then you don't know who's around you anymore. I mean, your mind and you're physically fine. I mean, my father and I would play golf. He was fine to play golf physically, but I mean, I just saw the progression where he couldn't share stories anymore. Couldn't really, he would just listen. Couldn't really tell a story anymore. Couldn't read before he died. But it was, I tell you, the blessing was that Dad was taken home long before that long, cruel time frame. I know people that have gone through it for 15, 18 years of not knowing who their loved ones are, and they're just sitting there and existing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So to have everyone in the collective and know that we're all in this together, that we're loving one another, is so special. So that's what, and I'm blessed with a heart that, wants to do these things, and do as many as I can. It's hard to say no, but Alzheimer's, I'll never say no. Cancer in the Cancer Society, that was what took my mom. I'll never say no.
Is it leukemia and lymphoma?
No, she was lung cancer.
Lung cancer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She was a lifelong smoker, even smoked after diagnosis.
Wow.
I mean, and I smoked for years too. I mean,
Did
that
you
was what
really?
you did in Jersey. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially,
What were
it
you
was just
smoking?
a thing. What were you smoking? Marlboro Lights.
Smoking meats.
Yeah,
He had that mustache too. He's like,
smoking meats. But yeah, that was actually my nickname in high school. Here he comes now.
Smoking Meats.
Smoking Meats Taylor. Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Yeah, it's me, Smoking Meats. But yeah, I started because my parents always smoked.
Yeah.
You
That's all
know,
you
and
knew.
I would smoke in the, like before they got up, I would like sneak a cigarette and try to see what it was like when I was like 11.
wow.
And then when I was in high school, you go to parties and stuff, and cigarettes were always there, and so you'd have a cigarette. And I played basketball. I was a jock. I played golf on the golf team, but yeah, I'd smoke at parties. And then,
Swimming.
Swimming. Quick story. So since, my parents both swimming, like the guy, remember in Caddyshack, you'd smoke, he'd like throw the cigarette and jump in the pool. I love that. But yeah, true story. Mom and Dad would always smoke. So I'd never get caught. Like if I smoked at the party and stuff or came home, they would never smell it on me.
Yeah, 'cause they're
they
so used
smoked.
to it, yeah.
They can't smell it.
They're
can't
like, I
smell
like
it.
that smell.
Oh, yeah,
Is that a new cologne smoking meat?
So there was like a handful of times I got
They
caught.
didn't call him smoking meat.
They caught me like with cigarettes and said, hey, and I said, okay, sorry. And that happened like maybe 3-4 times. Senior year of high school, and we're going somewhere, and it was winter because I had my ski jacket on, and I had cigarettes with me because I must have thought I could, wherever we were going, which I don't remember now, I could peel off and have a cigarette maybe. Right? So we're driving in the car. My dad's out of cigarettes, and he leans. I'll never forget. I'm in the back seat. I was an only child, so I'm in the back by myself. And he says, geez, I'm out of cigarettes. And my mother would smoke, like Virginia Slims or something. And he was a Winston guy, And so he's like, hey, Billy, you got any cigarettes?
He
And
knew
I'm
the
like,
whole
whoa,
time.
time stopped, and I'm just like, yeah. And so he says, can I have one? I'm like, this is not happening. I'm like, sure. And I'll never forget, it was like in slow motion. I like pass my cigarettes up to Dad as he's driving. He takes one, hands them back to me. That was the most incredible thing. And then I remember sitting there. They both light up. No one's saying a thing. And I'm sitting in the back going, do it now, or forever regret it. And so I said, you guys mind if I have one? And they were like, well, and I remember my dad's logic, because back then it was legal. I could buy cigarettes in a store as a minor. There was no laws like that.
Right.
And they said, well, just don't overdo it. It's kind of hypocritical. We can only stop you from smoking at our house. We know that you smoke when you go out and stuff like that. Okay. And so my senior year of high school, I'm smoking with my parents. True story. I'm like, at dinner, after dinner, we're all lighting up a cigarette. So it's history teachers really busting my chops, having cigarettes with mom and dad. It was crazy. But thank the Lord. Thank God. I finally quit when I was, when my daughter, my oldest was 1. She's 25 now. But when she was 1, I remember I would never smoke in the house because my wife hated it. And I'll never forget the look on her face when I was out on the patio and she's looking at me through the glass window like, why aren't you in here with me?
Your family's in here.
Yeah, we're in here. Why are you out there? She couldn't talk. She was literally 1. but it was that look. Like she didn't understand. That's what I saw and heard. And so I started doing the patch and finally quit.
That would have been a whole different story if it would have been Mexican parents, my parents, and I handed them cigarettes and I said, "Can I have one?" They would have been like, pendejo, none. They would have probably turned around and hit him.
You know what? I
That would have been a completely
And you're not getting the pack back, right? These are mine.
Give me that.
Those are mine now.
Yeah, I always remember like growing up, and because I was an only child, and when I was, I think in elementary school, I saw my teacher at the grocery store at HEB, and he was buying cigarettes and smoking outside, and I was like, that's so weird. It's weird, like to see like your
Because
school
they're
teachers.
perfect to you.
Yeah, they're
And-
perfect in school, right? Like
Right,
this, and then
right.
and then he's buying alcohol and cigarettes. Like it was really funny.
And it was probably because of you being in class the way you were.
Wow.
Like,
You
now
drove
most
it
of
all
those-
all makes it. I went full circle right now.
You drove him to the bottle.
You drove him to the bottom.
That's exactly
in the
what-
fourth grade.
Oh, you probably
man.
wouldn't button your shirt back then.
No, that's you.
That's wow.
I have a. I was gonna say. So let's just go back. If you weren't going to be a meteorologist, what would you have wanted to be?
So my first year of college was accounting in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, accounting.
Oh, I thought you want to work in that Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, he would count.
Right. I would do the books. Yeah. But I was, I was in high school when I took accounting, and debits were equaling credits. I found out CPAs made good money. I said, maybe I want to be an accountant. This seems good. Because up in the Northeast, again, TV was not even on the radar. Get it? It was New York. News was out of New York City. They never mentioned New Jersey unless like something major happened. But it was all New York City news that we watched. And so there was no connection. There was no local commercials. Everything was national or, New York. And so when I moved south and saw local TV, that was one thing. But, when I was in the Northeast, you become a cog in the wheel. You're just like, okay, just like my father worked in New York City, that's what I'm going to maybe do. And so I went to Pace University in New York for accounting and flunked out. Yep. Flunked out.
Numbers were not your
Numbers,
thing.
I'm still working in numbers.
You are working
right?
in
I'm
numbers.
working in numbers, but it wasn't supposed to be accounting because, 1 year and they asked me to leave. I was in over my head. I did pledge and make it into a fraternity. I was on the debate team. I did some great things in college. Pace was great school, small school in upstate New York. In fact, Pleasantville, New York was the campus where I went. That's the home of Reader's Digest. That's where that's published. Yeah,
really?
Pleasantville, New York. It's north of the city. And so, 1 year there. And then that was when my stepdad got the job offer in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And that was the blessing of, okay, we're going, Mom and I are moving to Lake Charles, Louisiana. And I wasn't going to be far from my mom. I was a mama's boy.
Yeah.
There's no way, only child. I could have stayed up there. My father, and, he was remarried with his children. I could have stayed in the area, maybe go to another school. And who knows, right? I mean, I moved to this little Lake Charles, Louisiana town. I find my wife, I find my career, all in 6 years of
Wow.
being in this small
It was
little
destiny.
town.
And Cajun food.
Yeah. And Cajun, bro, Cajun food?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Gumbo. All the way.
Boudin.
Oh,
Gumbo.
Boudin. Yeah.
Boudin is so good. Have you ever had Boudin, Albert?
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
You
man.
like Cajun food?
I like Cajun food, but I don't know what
Boudin is
is.
like a rice sausage. It's rice and pork is the traditional, but they do seafood ones. They do different ones.
Oh.
But it's like a stuffing, and it's in a sausage. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You steam it, you can grill it, but it's good. It's really.
I'm more
good.
of an egg rolls and dumplings kind of guy.
See,
We know you're booking
I
a
was
trip.
just gonna say, you know where he's going.
I saw it in your eyes.
Yeah.
I saw your eyes light up when he said sausage. He's like, sausage.
Kielbasa. That was the other. We used to call it kielbasa up there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are you like going to a football game? All right, I'll bring some kielbasa.
Yeah.
I'll bring some kielbasa. Or hey, you gonna bring kielbasa?
I love
And then I
kielbasa.
get here and I was like, that's their name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Their name is kielbasa.
Yeah.
Of course they couldn't go into a roofing business, right? I mean, it's just like, yeah, we'll make sausage. That's what we'll do.
Kielbasa roofing. I don't know what that
No,
does.
it doesn't work.
Doesn't even
Right.
work. You go and your whole house is made of your roof is
Chorizo.
of chorizo.
It's just a big chorizo.
We have the chorizo package.
It's Clay.
Oh my God, this has been so
Oh,
good.
thank you so much, Bill, for being here.
Oh, this is such a delight, man. You guys are awesome.
This is so-
Congratulations on this podcast.
Thank you
For
so
real,
much. I
though.
appreciate
For
it.
real,
Oh,
though.
thank you so
I mean,
much
this
for
is
that.
an amazing experience for me. I haven't done this many times, but I'll tell you, this is really cool. You guys having a good time?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Right?
we're
It's
having
fun,
a really
right?
good time. A really, really good time, and we're so excited just because you just decided to do the show with us. I mean, like,
The invite. No, man, I'm honored.
You know,
I really am.
It took
This
2
is cool.
years, but
yeah, well, he's almost king, so we have to, he had to pencil us in.
You won't be able to get me after this. I mean, that's it. This is the time to get me because once I'm king,
before you're not.
you're not going to be able to get me. I won't return Albert's calls. It's a whole thing.
Who was that peasant that's calling me?
Yeah. Wasn't he making pork chops in his cubicle?
Now I know why we fired him.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Like, aren't you supposed to be out selling commercials? I'm going to be done in a minute, I swear. They're almost done.
Pork chops. That's what's known in the office.
Pork
Hey,
chops and apple chops. That was his nickname. Yeah, hey,
Smoking
pork
meats and pork. Now I know why you guys get along so well. Sizzling.
pork chops and
my
apple
God.
chops.
All right. Well, listen now. No, wait. I just want to just say this. If you, for everybody that's watching right now, tune in to Bill Taylor. He's on every
Thank you.
Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock, the 10
4,
p.m.
5, 6, and 10.
4, 5, 6, and 10.
The
on
only one that
Ken's
does
5.
4 shows on Ken's 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm the only anchor. That
And
does
he's the
4.
chief. He doesn't ever get the weather wrong. It's always right. 100%.
Always right somewhere.
Is there weather? Again, Bill.
Thank you,
I
Albert.
can't even
Thank you,
say-
Davin. I really
can't
enjoy
say
you guys.
enough.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
High fives.
Should we
we
probably
hit the
should-
disco after
Oh,
this?
we should disco out of
Oh,
here.
we
is what
should
really
disco out of
That'd
this.
be awesome.
Here we go.
You ready?
Come on.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let me put my glasses on.